This is a quick video to show you the power consumption for an iPad. This is the old iPad 2, generation 2, 9.7 inch diagonal. So I'm interested to use this iPad with it turned on continuously. So I'm just curious to see what is the power consumption. So right now the battery charge indicator right now is at 96%, and I'm going to plug in the charger cable, and right now the kilowatt meter here is at 0. So I'm just going to take two measurements. One is during charging, how many watts does it take for it to charge and keep the screen on, and then we are going to do another measurement when it's already 100%, running different apps, YouTube, something that takes a lot of processing power, and then see what is the power consumption then. All right, so let's do the first test first, which is for charging, to see what is the wattage. Okay, now it is charging, as you can see, with the lightning icon on the right side of it, and the amount of wattage is switching back and forth between 6.3 and 6.4 watts right now with this charging. Okay, so I'm going to leave it be for probably 15 minutes until it reaches 100%, and we're going to come back and see how many watts it takes for it to sustain the load. Right now the iPad is at 100% already, and the power consumption when it's just idling on the home page, it is 2.9 watts. So we're gonna put some stress into it, give it some work to see if that increase any. But before we do that, I know for sure one thing that usually increases the battery or power consumption is the brightness. So we are going to play around with this and see how that influences. So right now we're still at 3 watts, and I am going to turn it up all the way to full brightness, and you can see now it have increased about 2 watts to about 4.8, 4.9, basically 5 watts. So from 3 to 5, 2 additional watts. And if I turn it all the way down, it actually went down to around 2 watts. Let's go back to the home page and see if that, yep, about 2 watts if it's going to the home page. So when the screen is very dim, it's only about 2 watts, and when the screen is about halfway, it's approximately about 3 watts, and then all the way is about 5 watts. All right, so let's see if we have it in the middle as medium brightness, and we're going to turn on YouTube and give it some stress on the CPU. Okay, so we are loading YouTube on Safari, and let's see how this works. I'll load one of my video. Okay, so the sound is on, video is playing. It doesn't seem to affect the wattage much. It's at 4.5, back to DIY Geek YouTube channel. About in this 3. Video, we are going to show you how to install down the volume. 20 feet of. All right, so it's at 3.2. Yeah, so it doesn't affect the performance much loading a YouTube video at all. So let's see if what if we load some heavier website I would say Yahoo is usually pretty damn heavy on their homepage. CNN is another heavy one. So let's just load Yahoo real quick. 4.1, 4.3. Okay, still 4.3. Still loading. It's not responsive. Yeah, this is an older iPad, so it's quite slow. Still about 4.5. Okay, so let's click on something here. Let's say this article right here. Still about 4.5, almost 5. It's not moving. We're pretty stuck here. It's probably a little bit too much content for this older iPad. I'm not sure. Yeah, well. Okay, so now it's at 5. It's doing something in the background. Let me try to reload, see what happens. Yeah, sorry, nothing is happening. Let me see if there's anything else that is actually heavy CPU consumption. FaceTime. Still at 4 watts. So we can see some video. It doesn't affect the performance much or consumption much. Let me see if there's any music. I don't think I have any music. Yep, still 4. So nothing can actually make it above 5, which is good. So yeah, I think so. I think that pretty much concludes my. Let's try news actually before we finish. That should connect to the internet and show some news. Okay. All right, it's just taking way too long. I don't want this video to be any longer. So the summary is basically, if you have the brightness all the way down, it will be as low as 2 watts. When you have it in medium, idling is consuming about 3 watts. When it's processing a lot of things, it can go all the way to 6.3, I've seen. But most of the time it's probably hovering at about 2. So the bottom line is probably about, not 2, I'm sorry, 5 watts. 5 watts is probably the average to be able to keep the iPad on all the time. So I'm gonna show some calculations next. If you had 5 watts and you have this iPad on for the whole entire year, how much would it cost if you have your cost of electricity for about, let's say 12 cents per watts, and so that we can get an idea of how much you will end up spending if you have this iPad on all the time for a whole entire year, 365 days a year. When the iPad is completely turned off but not shut down, so it's just sleeping, the power consumption is 0.3. It is still draining some power, but it's not a lot. So if I press this button, it will wake up, and it's probably gonna go about 3. Yep, it went about 3.2, 3.3. And as it's shut down, it goes back to 0.3. So now it is at about 4 when it's fully operational, and it goes all the way up to 6. The real world cost for this iPad to be turned on 24 hours a day using an average of 3.5 watts at any given time. It consumes 0.084 kilowatt per day. For 12 cents per kilowatt, it's equivalent to $3.67. Thank you for watching this video. If you find it useful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel to see more do-it-yourself video like these and support my channel. Thank you.